and it ends tonight, we hope. So, what is our new president going to do to heal a divided nation? Let's discuss with Carl Bernstein, the author of A Woman in Charge. He is a CNN political commentator and, of course, an excellent journalist. And David Gregory, a CNN political analyst and also an excellent journalist. I knew you wouldn't forgive me if I didn't say that, Carl. We may see record turnout. That's good. However, what is motivating that turnout may be bad. How do you assess?
Well, I think what's motivating the turnout is that people feel very strongly that they want change in this country. And that comes from Sanders, it comes from Trump's followers, and it even comes from reluctant people who are voting for Hillary Clinton. And I think that's the most important thing to take away from this election, that there is anger at the political class, that if Hillary Clinton, as expected, wins tonight, that she's going to have to address in a really serious and empathic way the desire for change, the dissatisfaction with elites in this country, and the dissatisfaction, indeed, with Democrats and Republicans.
Well, I mean, if anger and change are the motivating factors, doesn't that suggest that Donald Trump would win?
Yes, if he were a different kind of candidate. I mean, if he didn't turn off so many people, non-white voters, college-educated voters, he certainly had that opportunity. I think Carl is right, and I think there's another element. There's anger. A lot of it is betrayal. You look at the exit polls from the primaries, Republicans felt betrayed by their own leaders. A lot of progressives feel betrayed by the Democratic establishment. So there are people who feel like the economy is rigged against them. The political process is rigged against them. The media can't be believed. You can't trust the big companies, big institutions. There's a lot of that energy right now. And in a kind of bizarre series of circumstances, Donald Trump really captured that energy on the right. Bernie Sanders captured a lot of that energy on the left. And that is a big part of the challenge moving forward. We know we've been polarized as a country. We know we're in a country that is transforming demographically, and how it interacts with government, and how these political parties orient themselves toward those changes.
But it's more than polarization. The people of this country, I think we're learning in this election how smart the people of the country are, because they understood before the political class and before the media class that the institutions of this country are not working and are fundamentally broken. You get outside of tech and the entertainment business, you tell me what institutions in this country, from medical care to education, are working well in our culture. That's partly what this election is about. This election has a deeper meaning in terms of the antenna of the people of the country. That's what we're feeling.
There may be more institutions working than you say, but some of it is access. Higher education.
Well, that's about
the envy of the world.
But either way you look at it,
not public education from K to 12.
But either way you look at it, what you saw was an opportunity for a real battle of ideas. There are different ways to change the status quo in this country, but you didn't get that.
No.
And the reason that I would even suggest that turnout could be a bad thing is because it's motivated by negative factors. There is no one who can convince me that this is not a proposition for voters of who's less bad.
No,
I hear it all over the country.
No question.
And it seems like whoever wins tonight is going to be the one who's rejected less. And what does that do for you in terms of mandate?
Well, still, a new president of the United States gets a certain amount of goodwill. Even if it were Donald Trump, which I don't expect, there will be a certain amount of goodwill extended him. But let's look at the opportunity. Let's assume Hillary Clinton wins, and she is disdained, as we know, by tens of millions of people in this country. But if she uses words well, think of the inaugural address. Think of what she says tonight and how important that is to convey to the people of the country that she hears a message in what this year and a half has been and what all of this negative feeling has been about. You know, also there's the question of practical politics. Assuming she wins, I think we're going to see her try to embrace Republicans in her cabinet. I think she's going to, she's got to get a Supreme Court justice through very quickly. She has a record of working with Republicans, though not on big national issues. It was more on aid to New York. But she also is going to have to indicate that she hears the message that propelled Bernie Sanders and the underlying message, not the bigotry, not the nativism. We need an immigration bill, but she understands what propelled Donald Trump's followers.
Go ahead, David.
She's got to listen to the left. I think we will all be looking, if she's president, for the impact of progressives in the Democratic Party, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, impact on particularly when it comes to economic policy. But she has to have a partner. And Republicans have to decide what kind of party they want to be. It was Lindsey Graham from South Carolina who said they're in a demographic death spiral. That was in 2012. If they lose Hispanic votes huge tonight, it may be irrevocable for them. They've got a lot of deciding about what they want to be as a party if they're going to win the presidency again.
David.